Hi everyone. So for today we are going to be practicing certain blending and colored pencil techniques. What you have here is a worksheet. So in the first section you're going to practice blending using only your primary colors, so red, yellow, and blue. You're going to use the basic blending and layering overlay for this. Okay, so our goal, which I'll show you in a minute, is to get a smooth transition in the areas where we have yellow, green, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, orange, and so on. Okay. So to get started, we're going to use for the top one, pure yellow, yellow, green, pure yellow, green, and blue. So we are transitioning from yellow to green to blue. Okay, so I'm going to start by shading in my pure yellow here. Okay, so we can basic shading and layering. So I have yellow, and then I'm going to blend in my green now. So I'm using light pressure until that transition is very smooth. Okay, and here we're gonna have pure green. And then I'm going to go back to my yellow. You might have to switch colors back and forth, so it's best to have your colors ready before you even start. So I'm noticing that this transition needs some work. I'm gonna go back in with my green to smoothly blend that out. Okay, carrying on. So now we're going to blend to blue-green here. So I'm putting down my green first, then I'm layering. So that's the first one. And then I'm going back over all my areas to make sure that my transitions are nice and smooth. So where your colors blend together, that is where you would stay in that same area and do your most blending in that area, so the transition is smooth and seamless. Okay, so that's what the first one will look like. Next, we're gonna do yellow, orange, and red. So this would be really a great technique to use if you are trying to do a sunset in your landscape. Okay, you can try that color combination. So we're gonna start again with pure yellow. So you're learning now how to mix colors using primary colors and layering colored pencils. So as you keep practicing these techniques, you can take this back into the coloring of your landscape design. Okay, last one. So pure red, we're going to use some purple and transition over into blue. So we're going from red to blue with purple in the middle. Let's start with pure red. The first one we have shading, which is just using a side-to-side motion. Okay, this is the one we've done most in class. You're using a side-to-side motion in order to build up layers, so we can use varied pressure from light pressure to dark pressure in our darkest darks. Hatching. Make sure that your pencil is very sharp for hatching, and this is what we do. A new technique that we haven't tried before is called scumbling. So scumbling is kind of like the scrub pad method. You are making small little overlapping circles, and that's going to help you create a texture. So this is how we scumble, doing small little circles. Small little circles. You don't want these to look like too much like circles because you're going for the texture. You're not trying to draw circles, but you're trying to create a texture. And now I'm overlapping with some dark green. So I started with light green, and I am just adding some dark green. Okay, so there we have scumbling. Now, directional marks. This is a very important one. So as you are drawing your pagodas and trees, I want you to think about the shape that we are working with. So here we have a circle. A very important thing to remember, if you are drawing something rounded, do not go in straight lines. That will help stick at all. You don't want to do that. You want to start making directional lines, and they're going to follow the contour of your circle. So you let me start with my mid-tone green, and that is okay. So now I'm going back in with my darkest green. And then where's my yellow? My yellow and green yellow. Okay, so that is making directional marks. Now, basic overlay is the next one. Basic overlay is what you were practicing up on the top with layering your different colors. So all you're doing here is layering colored pencils to create a new color. Okay, so let me try. Let's do yellow. Same one we did. So this is how you would blend colors for using grass and things like that. Or your buildings, you can layer darks and lights. Okay, so burnishing is when we use the hardest pressure as we can, so hard that it fills in all the parts of our paper and the surface is nice and shiny. Then I'm going to go back in with my red and add that second burnished layer. Okay, with dots, the next one is using dots and to build and blend colors. So you would just So you can put more and more dots closer together or leave them further apart to create darks and then lights. Now, last but not least, we have cross hatching. Okay, so again, just like hatching, you're using lines, but this time they're going to cross over each other. So we're going to make this side darker, which means we're going to put more lines closer together and overlapping. Okay, so there we have it. So I would like you to practice on this. We will be working on it for one class period. Don't forget, on the back you have all of your techniques.